My child, listen close. I'm about to tell you something personal, something I've only shared with a select few. And it holds the key to unlocking a future far beyond your wildest dreams. Don't be stupid and skip this. Your fate depends on it. You need to stop what you were doing when this came across your desk for a few minutes. The words I'm about to use are not general and are not meant for everyone. This word was written for a certain person and came out at a certain time of the year. That person is you. In this moment, you are reading this message at this particular point in your life. This is not a coincidence. I set it up. Today is the day I made sure this message got to you. Because I've been waiting for the right time to tell you something directly. Today is that time, my child. I know what you carry, but not in the way that someone who loves you might say it, which means they feel sorry for you or have a general idea of how hard things are for you. In a way that only I can understand, I mean it completely and deeply. I know what you carry like I know how many days you have left, what your name was before the world was, and all the paths you've taken, and the times you've spent on them. Not just the ones that could be seen, but also the ones that happened inside, in secret, where no one else was there to see them. When you carry something, I know it from the inside, where it lives. I've known it that way since the first day you carried it, my beloved. This is something I want to talk about for a moment, before moving on. Because I know that someone who has been carrying something invisible for a long time has sometimes heard the phrase, God knows, and took it as a warm spiritual acknowledgement instead of the concrete and structural truth it is. When I say, I know what you carry, I'm not just saying something general to make you feel better. It's true what I'm saying about what I have directly and completely seen. I know how much it hurt in the beginning, when the weight was new and strange, and you didn't know how to describe it. I know how much it cost you in the middle seasons, when you were used to carrying things, but couldn't see a way to solve the problem, and the time frame was getting longer than you had planned. I know what it cost you in later seasons, when the weight had grown heavier with time, and carrying something that no one else could fully see had taken something from you that no one outside of you knew about. I remember the exact times when holding on was the hardest thing you could do. I know the private decisions you made, the ones that no one else heard, where you chose again to carry what I put inside you without anyone watching, without any outside reward, and without any clear signs that the carrying was going anywhere. Everything I have covered across this channel is now in one place. The prayers, the teachings, the daily blessings. It is all inside the Daily Miracle Manual. Link in the description. Please know that every seed you plant in this mission grows into a torch that shines in someone else's darkness. Whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or becoming a member of our community, does not go to a channel. Your actions are supporting a divine mission to save lost souls. But more than your support, we want your presence. When you head to our community through the link in the description or the pinned comment, you aren't just visiting a site. You are entering a community of like-minded believers. This is a sanctuary where you can post your prayer requests, lift up the burdens of others, and engage in daily discussions with a family that speaks the language of faith. Whether you are joining one of our membership tiers for deeper study, sowing a seed of faith, or simply joining our daily morning prayers, you are helping us build a global altar of worship. Heaven moves through willing voices, but it grows through a community that stands together. Each gift you give acts as living water for those in our community seeking healing and hope. Give, and it will be given to you, is the promise that sustains our shared mission. I invite you now to step out of the shadows and into this circle of prayer. Come with purpose, join the conversation, and plant your seed in fertile ground. Let's open the heavens together. Release your seed today, join our community, and see what God brings back into your life. I was there every day that you were carrying your child through it all. And what I saw every single day made me think about something I want to talk to you about today. There was no struggle, difficulty, or weight of the season in my eyes. I only saw you. I saw you. The person who is holding something real, important, and invisible with honor, without needing the outside world to recognize what they are holding. That's who I saw, and that's the person I called, prepared, and have been shaping for the whole formation season in preparation for the specific job that is now starting to open up. If you felt something tighten or loosen in your chest as you read those words, something that hit you before your mind could process it, that's your body letting you know that what I'm saying is true for you. Type, I carry something that no one can see in the fields below, not as an act, but as an acknowledgement of something you already know deep down. My beloved, I want to talk about the inner life of someone who carries an invisible call through a long formation season. I believe this is one of the most misunderstood parts of what you have been through, and I want to call it what it is before this message goes on. There are two realities going on at the same time for someone who carries something inside that can't be confirmed from the outside, has no visible proof, and can't fully be expressed in everyday conversation. These two realities are the visible and invisible parts of a person's life. The visible reality includes their job, their relationships, the challenges they face every day, and the situation they are in. The invisible reality includes the call, the knowing, and the clear sense of what they were made for and where they are going, even if they can't see the end goal right now. My child, these two facts don't always match up. Sometimes they are very tense with each other for long periods of time. Living in both at the same time, navigating the outside world while carrying an inner knowing that the outside world can't see or confirm, creates a unique kind of inner life that most people will never fully understand from the outside. I want to make this clear, because someone in the formation season might start to see the fact that what they carry is hidden as proof that something is missing, as if the fact that it is hidden means it is less real or smaller than things that can be seen. That's not what it means to be hidden. My love, the person who follows an unseen call through a long formation season does not have a less rich inner life. Indeed, it is one of the most active, rich, and complex inner experiences a person can have. The ongoing interaction with a call that doesn't have any outside confirmation. The ongoing inner work of keeping faith in something that the world around you doesn't support. The daily battle between what we know and what we don't know. There is a certain kind of focus that comes about when you are looking for my movement in everyday life, because you know I am there and working, even when I can't be seen. Everything you've been through, my child, gives you an inner depth that most people will never see, because it doesn't show up in the formation season. But it's real, and it's part of what the formation season made you stronger. Not just strength and faith, but also a certain kind of inner depth that the assignment opening for you will use and show through you when the time comes. I see both truths, my beloved. I see the situation on the outside and the carrying on the inside. And when I look at the inside of your formation season, I don't see someone who has been struggling for nothing. In secret, there is someone who has been building something amazing. Someone or something that will be recognizable to people who see it in its arrival season, even if they can't fully understand its depth from what they see on the outside. The depth they'll find in you as the formation season became clear. It's been coming together for a long time. Type "I'm still here" in the comments, because you've been through the carrying, the long season, and every day when moving forward was a choice rather than a momentum. It's important that you are still here. As a parent, I want to talk to you directly about something that I know the enemy of your formation has tried to use against you during the shadow season. I want to be very clear about it, because there is a specific lie in it that needs to be fully understood before this message can move on. The enemy of your formation has worked right here, telling you that the fact that what you're carrying is hidden is proof that something is wrong. That the fact that what you're carrying hasn't shown up yet means it's not real or not coming. Or that somewhere along the way, something happened that threw the call off track. The fact that the formation season lasts so long shows that it is not working, or that you thought the wrong thing about what I put in you, or that the people who said they didn't believe the timeline were seeing something right that you weren't. I need you to hear this straight out. My beloved, the fact that the formation season is hidden is not a flaw. It's part of the design. During formation season, the call stayed inside. The complete guide, every daily prayer, every spiritual tool, everything I've put together to help you grow your faith is down in the description. It's called the Daily Miracle Manual. Now, stay right here with me, because as this awakening grows inside you, know that helping with this mission is not a joke. It is a sign from God. You can support this work through the link in the description or the pinned comment, whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or becoming a member of our community. By doing so, you become part of Jesus' plan to save souls who are still stuck in fog. Every seed turns into light that fights against darkness. If you water others, you will be watered yourself, Jesus says. This is not history. It is a living promise about your future. Come into this moment with faith and a plan. What God has already planned for your life can be unlocked through your giving. This wasn't because it was too small to see, but because the outside wasn't ready to receive it with the fullness and accuracy that the expression needs. Before it could be shown to the outside world with the weight that the assignment calls for, what you carry had to be held inside, shaped in the darkness, perfected in the silence, and shaped by the conditions of the inside season. This is how I work in the natural world, which is always the same as how I work in people's souls. Before you can see anything above ground, the seed is covered. The covering doesn't hide things just because it's there. It's to keep the forming safe. The thing that is growing in the covered area is still real, even though it can't be seen yet. More safety is provided, because the covering keeps what is forming from being exposed to things that could stop its growth before it's finished. What I talked about with you during the formation season was still real, my child, even though it was talked about. It happened just at the right time of year to get the results that the expression season needs. According to Isaiah 45:2-3, I will give you hidden treasures, riches stored in secret places, so that you may know that I am the Lord, the God of Israel, who summons you by name. The hidden treasures aren't hidden because they're not very important. These things are hidden because they are only for the person who was called by name to receive them. The fact that it's hidden is part of how I keep precious things for the person I have called. My beloved, you were not forgotten during the formation season. You were being held until the arrival season, which is now. Just bear with me for a moment longer. Do not hurry past this. One of the most important things I want to say in this message is what I'm about to say about what the formation built in you. You need to pay full attention to understand it correctly. In the comments, type God was there. He was there on every hidden day and season, when the formation couldn't be seen from the outside, but was fully active on the inside. He was there in the mornings when things were hardest and in the evenings when faith was weak. He saw everything. And what he saw proved what he said about you before the world even existed. My child, what did the formation season make you more like? I don't want to use a general term to name this, because the formation isn't a generic process that makes generic results in a generic person. It's a certain kind of construction that makes a person develop certain skills for a certain job. You can't trade what it built in you for what it built in someone else. It has a specific. That's it. And that's exactly what the new job you're getting calls for. A settled knowing that can't be made by a shorter or easier experience is the first thing that the formation built, my beloved. Someone who carried something invisible for a long time while the world around them kept pressuring them, but didn't give them any confirmation of what they were holding, has a different kind of inner knowing than someone who develops it faster or in a more obvious way. You are sure of what you know and don't need outside confirmation to stay sure. One of the most important skills you need for the assignment I'm giving you is the kind of settled, unshakable inner knowledge that doesn't need an audience or visible proof to stay strong. This is because the assignment won't always come with immediate confirmation. The person who walks into it needs to have a knowing that can last through the times when confirmation hasn't shown up yet. That's what you were made to do. The formation was like a furnace where that knowing was put through tests and improvements until it became solid. A second thing that the formation did was build a strength that is not performance. Being willing to look strong in tough situations is not what I mean by resilience. That's a sign of pride. The formation season is meant to burn everything away. When I say resilience, I mean the trained and proven ability to keep carrying what I gave you when it gets hard. If the outside world doesn't support you, if the deadline is longer than you planned, or if the people around you can't fully see or understand what you're doing, my child, you have that ability. It's not a potential or something that might grow in good conditions. You already have it because every day of formation season has built it into you. Every day you kept going was another day that made you stronger in this way. And the assignment you're given will use this in ways that require it to be real, not just done. The third thing the formation created is compassion that was shaped by the experience of carrying someone else's load without being seen. That person has carried something that no one else could fully see, and that person knows the exact weight of that invisibility. That person has also been alone when sitting across from someone they love and not being able to fully describe the shape and nature of what they hold. Not because they didn't have words, but because the thing itself wasn't yet visible enough to give words to. That person has a compassion for others who are carrying invisible things that you can't get if you haven't carried one yourself. The assignment opening for you will put you in touch with people who have the same things you do. What those people need from you is the kind of compassion that comes from having the same inner experience. You got it from the formation, which put you through the exact experience that makes you get it. Being wise in a way that you can experience it rather than just thinking about it is the fourth thing I want you to receive. Not only did you make it through the formation season, you learned a lot from it. You learned something wise about how I work when I'm hidden, when I'm quiet, and when I have to wait for a long time. You learned what faith looks like when there is no one watching, no reward, and no confirmation other than knowing inside that what I put in you is real. That wisdom wasn't learned in a classroom. It was gained by living a good life. Think about Joseph. He carried the dream I gave him through years of being invisible, the pit, prison, and seasons that didn't make sense from the outside. The wisdom Joseph brought to the moment of speaking was not something he learned in school. During the hidden season, he learned more and more every day. That's also true for you, my child. You were given the specific tools that your assignment calls for by the formation. Not almost, just right. My beloved, I need you to do something right now before I go on. There is someone in your life who is in the process of becoming an adult. Someone carrying something that can't be seen. Someone who doesn't know yet that I can see what they're holding and that the fact that it's hidden is on purpose, not by accident. You thought of that person's name as you heard this, or it's coming to you now. Before this ends, please send them this message. No, it's not because it will make you look good. It's because what I'm doing in you, I'm also doing in them, and the word that you hear will strengthen them. Send this to that person. They will get it at just the right time, my child. Now I want to talk about something I need you to understand about how faithful you are in general during this season of formation. Not how true dramatic moments are. Not the faithfulness that people watched. The quieter, tougher, and more inner faithfulness. The kind that happened when you decided one more time, alone and without any drama, to carry what I put in you. For my beloved, the person who has been this faithful over a long period of time sometimes has a hard time understanding that the everyday faithfulness, the daily yes to the inner call, is something I truly treasure. You might start to think that being faithful in everyday life is what you're supposed to do. The bare minimum that someone who says they believe must do. I want to correct that right away. One of the most valuable things in the sacred record of your life is what you gave me during the normal days of the formation season, when there was no dramatic evidence, no visible confirmation, and no outside reward for continuing. In Psalm 139 it says, "Lord, you have searched me and know me. You know when I get up and sit down. You can read my thoughts from afar." During your formation season, there was not a private moment that I did not notice. My child, there was no quiet decision to be faithful that I did not see you make. I didn't take those times for granted either. I didn't get them because I had to. I saw every act of ordinary faithfulness as an offering, something that was freely given at a time when there was no clear reward. I paid full attention to the person who gave it as a sign of respect. Every day that wasn't seen is written down. Every choice made inside is respected. Every quiet moment of faithfulness is a part of what I'm bringing into the new season of arrival. Because no one else saw it, the faithfulness of the formation season is given extra weight in the holy record. The most genuine offering comes from deep inside the person making it, without the need for an audience or an immediate reward. I want you to hear this straight from me. That's what you gave me. I value it in a specific way, not in general. The kind of faithfulness you showed at certain times during your formation season was something I paid full attention to and fully respected. Tell them you didn't give up because you didn't. And that choice, which was made every day during the formation season, is part of what I'm defending now. Now, my beloved, I want to talk about something I saw during your formation season that I haven't talked about directly yet. This is because part of what I see and what you carry is what happened between your formation and the people who met it. People leaned in during your formation season. They asked the right questions, listened carefully, and tried to figure out what you were going through. The majority of them got a partial copy of what you hold. Not because you purposely kept it from them or didn't communicate, but because what you carry isn't fully articulable in this season. For the fullest expression of what you hold, you need the outward expression that the arrival season brings. When people leaned in and respected what they could see, they were respecting something real. These people were put in your life by me for the time you were in. And those same people will be able to see better during the arrival season. When the covering comes off, the part of the thing they honored that was hidden will be easier to see. And the honor they showed the invisible version will be confirmed by the version that can be seen once the season comes around. But, my child, there were also people who didn't lean in. They saw how hidden your formation season was and used that against you. And I want to talk about this right away, because it's part of what the arrival season is now about. Some people looked at the length of your formation and called it delay. They compared the long timeline of the hidden, carrying to a standard they made up and spoke words over it that were not mine. Words that made me wonder if what you carry is real. Words that said the length of the season showed that you were missing something, like a quality, an obstacle, or a lack of faith or readiness that was keeping you from where you were supposed to be. They said those things with the confidence, my beloved, of people who were sure they were right about what was going on. They weren't. They were looking at the outside of a season whose meaning lay inside, and they were making statements from the outside without being able to see what I was doing inside. They were talking about doubts, about how long your formation was, but I was using it to do things that I couldn't do in a shorter season. They said that the lack of visible fruit was proof of failure. But I was building root systems in you that the visible fruit will need when it comes to carry the weight of the assignment. Roots that aren't very deep make fruit that falls off quickly. For the assignment to bear fruit, it needs deep roots, the kind that can only grow through a long formation, where the hidden carrying creates the depth of settled knowing, earned wisdom, and forged resilience that a shorter formation can't. They thought about the fruit. I was putting together the root. They couldn't see what they were measuring. What those people said didn't matter compared to what I said about you before the world was even made, my child. What they said didn't change the course of what I was doing in you by a single day. They didn't add anything to the formation season that I didn't want them to. They didn't make what I was building any less good in any way. Before they had doubts, I made a promise over you. It came before the season of formation, before the longer timeline, before every question and every dismissal. And it stands the same way it did when I made it. There were also people who got things from you during the years of the hidden carrying that didn't match what they got, and who were put in your life during the formation season in ways that took from what you carried without adding to what was being built. I kept an eye on every move during the formation season, my love. I know what was given and what was received. Coming season isn't just the time when things open up for you. It's time to keep track of how the formation's relationships work. If you want the full guide with every prayer and lesson I've compiled for this community, check the description for the Daily Miracle Manual. You are about to enter your divine future, but remember, this breakthrough is not for you alone. Your testimony is the bridge someone else will use to reach their own miracle. Archangel Michael is inviting you to visit community through the link in the description or the pinned comment. Whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or becoming a member of our community, does not go to a channel. Your actions are supporting a divine mission to save lost souls. By joining our like-minded community, you are no longer praying in isolation. You are adding your voice to a global sanctuary where we discuss the Word daily and stand in the gap for one another. This is not poetry when Jesus says, "Give, and heaven will open over you." On this platform, every seed you plant turns into oil for your destiny, fire for your calling, and a hedge of safety for your family. Now is your time. Step into our community prayer wall, share your heart, and as you give, watch God multiply what you let go of. Let's finish this journey together. Visit our community now, join the family, and see your heavens open. Those who put money into you during the hidden season, even if they only did so partially or imperfectly, will be a part of the fullness of what is coming. It will be an open season for those who spoke doubt about the formation and used the fact that it was hidden against you. And know what they missed at that very moment. They won't need to be told. They will understand what the formation meant better than any words could say, because they can see it. You won't have to defend any of the days they asked about during the season either. Jeremiah 29:11 says, "For I know the plans I have for you, which are good plans that will not hurt you. Plans to make things better and give you hope." I knew about those plans before the doubters said anything. No changes have been made to the plans, my child. These are the plans that are now coming true. Feel free to write, "I trust what God is doing," below. Not because all the proof has come in, because you trust the person who told you about the plans. And that person has never been wrong about you, my beloved. I'd like to speak now in freedom. This message is more than just a word about what the formation season was like and how much it cost. It's a word that means now. And part of what is now is letting go of certain things that the formation season put inside you that were only meant to be used during the formation and not during the arrival. It must have been hard to carry something real and important during a time when the people around you couldn't fully see it. I free you from the weight of being invisible. Not being seen did not mean that what you carry is not real. It was part of the season style. Before they are shown to the outside world, the most important things are always held inside. And now I free you from the inner pressure that being invisible for a long time caused. The compression doesn't stay the same over time. Seasonal changes cause it. It's also getting warmer. What was kept inside is now coming out into the open. What was hidden is now being shown. I free you from carrying the weight of not being seen into what comes next. I free you from the loneliness of carrying someone else's load. I know what it's like to be the only person in the room who knows what you're going through, my child. Being alone when you're with someone you care about and can't describe the shape and weight of what you're holding. Not because you don't have the words, but because the thing itself couldn't be described yet. I know everything there is to know about you, and there are no secrets. And just knowing that is enough to start the arrival season. You didn't carry the thing that can't be seen by yourself. You've never done it by yourself. I was there every single day of the carrying. And when the arrival season comes around, the fullness of what you carry will speak to the people around you. I'm letting it go now in the comments. let go of the weight of the season that couldn't be seen, the private grief that came from keeping it a secret, and the loneliness that came from being the only one who knew. The season for carrying is over. It's said that the season is beginning. I forgive you for any incomplete answer you gave during the formation to someone who asked what you carry. When you tried to put into words something that wasn't quite ready, and the words came out smaller than the thing itself, those were not failures. They were proof that what you carry was being held inside for the right reason and was being shaped in secret so that it could come out fully. The phrase, "coming in the arrival season," will not be missing anything. In the formation, it was only possible to communicate parts of what will be fully formed. People who got the partial version will see the beginning of what they were trying to see in you, in the full expression. I'm freeing you from having to defend the length of the formation season to anyone, to explain why it took as long as it did, or to answer questions from people who compared it to a standard they made up. There is no one who needs to be told about the timeline of the formation season, my child. It was the exact length it needed to be for certain reasons, and I made sure it was that way with full intention and attention. In 1 Samuel 16:7 it says, "Man looks at how something looks, but the Lord looks at the heart." People who didn't believe the timeline looked at how the season looked and made assumptions based on what they saw. I knew exactly when it would be finished because I was looking at the inside and what the season was making in the hidden area. It was up to me to set the timeline, and I did so exactly. Writing those words may have made something loose in your chest that had been tight all season. If that happened, type "I receive this" in the comments. Believe those 3 words that I'm saying to mean that what I'm saying is reaching the right place. You don't have to carry the weight of a private grief that most people will never know. Because the formation season was hard to see. There was a quiet grief in the fact that the most important thing going on in your life was also the thing that people around you couldn't see. That sadness was real, my love. Today is the last day. I will hold on to it, but I honor it by seeing it every day. What happened in the interior during the formation season will slowly become clear during the arrival season. People who couldn't see it before will see it now, but not because they have to in order for it to be real. It was always meant to be an expression, and the time of year to express yourself is now. Feel free to write, "I am stepping into what is next" below, not as an aspiration, but as the truth I am claiming over you right now. The time of year is changing. My child, you are stepping into it. Now I want to talk about what it means to move from the formation to the arrival while fully knowing me. A clear throat. This is a different kind of moving forward than any other kind. The person who steps into what I have prepared doesn't worry about whether they are good enough, because they know I know them completely, that I was there for every hidden day and honored every invisible act of faithfulness, and that the formation wasn't a delay, but precise preparation for a precise assignment. They walk in knowing that they are the one I had ready for this. It's not the one who might be or the one who seems good, but needs to prove it. The person who is here now has been called, shaped, and made ready throughout the whole formation season. End of sentence. Nothing to qualify. Not a problem. There's no need to wait for outside proof to make the statement true. It says in Matthew 16:4 that your Father, who sees what is done in secret, will reward you. The secret is the time of year for formations. Every secret day, every choice that isn't seen, and every act of loyalty that is done alone. In order to see, I have been going along the whole formation, and the reward is what the arrival season brings. Not to repay the pain, but as the natural and unique expression of what was planted. My beloved, the harvest always goes with the planting. And what was planted in you and through you during the formation season was specific, planned, and made for the exact expression that is starting now. You are now entering a harvest that exactly matches what was planted. The stable knowing that is built into the hiddenness will be the expression's solid base. The assignment will be able to handle its hardest times, thanks to the strength built through invisible carrying. People who come into contact with you will need you to have the kind of compassion that comes from carrying something that no one can see. That which can only be learned through experience and not through study will be the source of guidance. None of this is a mistake. Everything was built on purpose, and the person who planned it is now walking with you as it comes to life. My child, I also want to talk to someone who has heard this kind of statement before and understood it better in the excitement of a moment than in the days between moments. The person who fully understood the declaration in a powerful moment and then found it harder to hold on to in everyday life. That's not a sign of weakness. The experience of making a declaration wants to be long, lasting instead of short-lived. The statement I make about the people I call is not meant to give them peaks of identity experience. It's meant to be the ground they stand on all day, even on normal days. And the normal days of the formation season are exactly the times when that strong base is built. Every day that the declaration was made during a normal day, without any big events, it became more important. That's part of what the formation was doing to you, my love. Not only the specific skills needed for the assignment, but also the confidence to stick to what I've said, no matter what evidence comes from the outside. That person who read this whole message is exactly the person I was writing this for. It's not a small thing that you stayed. The person who stays to hear the whole word will fully understand it. And this is its full weight. My beloved, you are the one I chose. Not the one who might be, or the one who seems good, but needs more time. The person who is here now has carried the invisible thing through the whole formation season and is now ready for what is opening. The formation did not come close to getting you ready. It was the end of the preparation. What you have now, the original call, plus the person the formation made, is exactly what the assignment calls for. Know that before you go in. You should go into it with the calm confidence of someone who has been fully seen and declared ready by the only person whose word determines the outcome. I am the one God chose in the comments. Not out of pride, but because I am in line with what has been said about you since the start of the formation season. confirmed every hidden day of the carrying, and now being fulfilled in the arrival that is opening. My child, most people will never know what you carry. But during the arrival season, when what you carry comes out, you will see something that you couldn't see before. The specific depth of knowing that is stable, the resilience that doesn't do anything by itself, the compassion that is formed through carrying something without being seen, and the wisdom that is gained through the experience itself. These things will be in the assignment itself, and the people who see them will see something with a quality, a depth, and a groundedness that they can't fully explain from what they can see. But what they can't explain is the formation season, the hidden years, the invisible faithfulness. And the one thing I was building in you the whole time I was carrying you. They will see the phrase, but not know what it means. But I know the root, and you will too. What you know about the person who was with you every hidden day is what you stand on as you go through everything the formation prepared you for. You're all set. What the formation was supposed to do was done. Enter the next part. You are ready for it, and it is ready for you. And the same God who knew you in every hidden moment of the shaping is the same God who walks with you now as you reach full expression. To everyone who read this message, if what you heard today touched you, I have 2 questions for you before you leave. First, a person's name came to mind during this message. This person is in a season of formation right now and is carrying something that can't be seen. They need to know that God sees what they're carrying and that the fact that it's hidden is on purpose. Send this to that person. They will get it just at the right time. Also, if this ministry has talked to you today, if what was released in this message is something you want to honor with more than just a watch, I want to ask you to plant a seed in what God is doing here. This is not a deal or a way to get blessed. It's just an act of faith in what God is building through this channel and through the people who find these messages just when they need them. When you plant a seed of faith, the Father will receive it because He sees what you give in secret. You can click on the link below or scan the QR code that's shown on your screen. God knows what you're carrying and has been with you every hidden day of the formation season. Let Him receive your gift as an act of faith. My child, may God bless you. Enter the next part. You're all set. Before we get to the end of this powerful story, let's reflect on this deep truth. You did not find this message by accident. This is a divine appointment meant specifically for you. You are being invited into a protected, faith-filled community at the link in the description and pinned comment, a place where divine abundance is not just a hope, but a promise built on the Word. By heading to the site right now, you are unlocking access to a sacred community of like-minded believers. When you join our membership tiers, you gain immediate entry to powerful content, daily devotions, and divine insights that are hidden from the world. This is your chance to enter a sanctuary where you will receive spiritual guidance, unwavering support on our prayer wall, and speedy progress toward your destiny. Do not let this moment of destiny pass you by. Your breakthrough is waiting. Join our inner circle through the exclusive link in the description. This is how you guarantee you never miss the personalized messages and spiritual warfare tools meant to elevate your life. If you feel called to deepen your connection, the link is waiting for you in both the pinned comment and the description. For those who want to amplify this work and carry the light home, you can find our guided ebooks and Bibles in the pinned comment. Whether you join as a member or sow a seed through our resources, your presence and energy change the world. Take the step. Your abundance awaits.